Good evening, everyone. I'm Sandhiti Javada. On behalf of the Rotaract Club of Achievers Lanka Business School, I warmly welcome you all to the session on managing sustainable business in the current business environment. Today's workshop will give you an understanding on how sustainability is a crucial factor in the present day for upcoming businesses and how to incorporate sustainability to businesses and startups. Before we begin our session, let us give a shout out to our valuable sponsors and partners. Knowledge Partner, Sasnaka Sansada Foundation, Sustainable Development Partner, Consortium of Consultants for Sustainable Development, IT Solutions Partner Shopbox, Co-working Space Partner Hub9 Co-working, Legal Consultation Partner ELO Chambers, Banking Partner Bank of Ceylon, Pitch Mentor Partner Show and Tell, Business Model Mentoring Partner GoCurva, Venue Partner University College Lanka, Digital Media Partner Articulate, and Printed Media Partner Ceylon Today. Jumpstart 2021 is in collaboration with 10,000 Ideas, which is an initiative by ICTA. This aims to support tech startups' ideas in the country.
Now all my bill payments are right at my fingertips.
I'm in touch with my BOC card whenever, wherever.
BOC Smart Online Banking creates time for the important things in life while your banking is done securely with ease and speed, wherever you may be.
CCSD, Consortium of Consultants for Sustainable Development, is a pool of renowned experts with diverse interests working together to achieve sustainable development. It works on three service verticals: impact assessment and mitigation, artificial intelligence-based process improvement solutions. As the third vertical, and in partnership with Infosight DMCC Dubai, CCSD offers master designs in ICT, AV, ELV, security, and acoustics technologies to promote sustainable development. It promotes career paths in association with Big C USA.
Ceylon Today, truth uncropped.
Hi guys, my name is Pula. I'm an entrepreneur. I work as a student coach and my business is based around YouTube. Hub9 has played a major role in my work life. Since Hub9 offers 24/7 access, it has been very convenient for me. Between shooting, editing my videos and doing coaching sessions, I work on a very flexible schedule. There's air conditioning, you can just come in and plug your laptop and start work. There's no hassle at all. The staff and the people you find here are really friendly. You get tea as well, so overall you can just focus on your work and get a lot of it done within a day. The internet speed here is super fast and that has helped me a lot with my upload. There's a chill out area downstairs. I go there when I need to take a break or just a change in my environment. It helps to keep my balance while I'm working here. This meeting room is really nice. I have used it for some of my interviews and I also use it for my coaching sessions and meetings with clients. If you are working here, you can easily book it for your meetings as well. During the pandemic, Hub9 has taken all the necessary precautions to keep all of us safe, so that's all good. The value I get for the 15,000 rupees I invest at Hub9 is just amazing. If you're just starting off your business, this is a good place to start.
Meet Nadisha and Nipani. They make upcycle products and want to share this passion. So they started a business and took it online using Shopbox. Shopbox is an online commerce solution which allows anyone to easily and affordably sell online. It provides all the tools needed to set up and run your own website. Have your online store set up in minutes by entering your store details and uploading your product. Taking the hassle out of setting up and maintaining an online store, Shopbox helps you work on the more important things, like growing your business. Make your business successful. Shopbox.
Bank of Ceylon, bearer of the nation's proud lion crest, is honoured to be named Bank of the Year 2021 Sri Lanka by the globally renowned The Banker magazine UK. We salute all Sri Lankans who have empowered our journey to victory.
Today's workshop will be conducted by a Sustainable Development Partner, Consortium of Consultants for Sustainable Development. The session on managing sustainable businesses in the current business environment will be conducted by Mr. Sidath Waidyasekara, Partner Consultant and Director Projects at CCSD. Over to you, Mr. Sidath.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you very much. Before I start the session, I want to ask a little bit of questions from the participants. Actually, how many participants are here?
For now, 33 participants, Mr. Sidath.
33. So, are they not coming on their videos? They are not, they are just shut down their videos. And is it like this is going, or I can't see them? Is it so? That is how it is going?
Yeah, a kind request to our participants, if it's possible, if you guys can turn on your cameras. Thank you.
Yeah, it is better because without seeing you all, it is very difficult to conduct a session. Okay, it's like we are talking to blind ball, right? Better. Okay, right. The other thing is, I think all are familiar in the language, right? If anybody has any problems of understanding anything, you can question, right? Don't wait at the last minute. You can ask questions, then I can give certain explanations. Then can anybody tell me what is your aim and what are you going to do? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? Volunteer, just without wasting time, just talk. Anybody? Just tell your name and talk. No one. This is the problem in Sri Lanka.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Can I go forward?
Who is that?
Hi, sir. I'm Loshini.
Yes, Loshini. Thank you very much for volunteering. Just
Hi,
go.
sir. Good to meet you. If you ask me what I want to do, my current aim is that I get an expert in the economics field because I love the subject very much. So that is my aim.
So after achieving those qualifications, then the next is to be an economist. Is it so?
Yeah.
So being an economist, what are you going to do? You are going to do a job, or you are going to start some business? So what is in your mind? To join central bank or what?
Actually, I have thought on joining the central bank, but at that moment, I will see how my interest is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Very good. At least you have a aim no? Anybody else? Just one, at least one boy who can talk. There are so many people here. Why it takes so long time? No one. If no one is going to speak, then I'm going to name.
Hi, Mr. Sidath. I'm Bipash.
What is your name?
My name is Bipash.
Okay, right. Thank you. Tell me.
So actually, in relation to what I'm doing, I'm actually working as a I'm working into tax. I'm looking into the tax aspect. That's what I'm currently working on.
Okay. Right. Okay. So what is your aim in the future? To be a tax consultant?
Yes, that's what I'm planning to do, and that's what my job role is right now as well.
So you can start the tax consultancy company or something like that.
That's not the aim per se, because I'm right now working at a firm. So maybe continue with that firm for some time, and then later on move on if another opportunity arises.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So what I want to tell you is that when you are given opportunity to talk, the people are not coming forward, right? You are just shy, right? You are waiting till somebody starts, and you are waiting till your name is mentioned, right? This is very bad. Okay. So in this world, you can't go forward like in this mentality. So therefore, whether it is right or wrong, when you get the opportunity, you jumpstart. Jumpstart. But I can't see the people jumpstart. Okay. Right. Today we are going to do this session. I am sharing this presentation. Can you see this? Everybody can see? Yes or no?
Not yet.
Mr. Sidath.
Not yet.
Yeah, now okay. Now okay.
Now it is okay. Right. Okay. This is the presentation. So how long I have time frame? Now
We have till 8:30, Mr. Sidath, with Q&A.
How many minutes?
We have until 8:30 with question and answers also.
8:30. All right. Okay. 8:30. Okay. So I will try to manage the time because actually this subject is a new subject for the most of the people, and it is very lengthy area, right? If you are going to discuss in detail, you can discuss hours and hours and days, right? So therefore, I'm trying to give you a very brief, short presentation, which covering the entire area, right? So therefore, you noted down anything if you want to ask later, okay? So what is the, at the same time, please answer certain questions I ask, right? So what do you understand by sustainable business? Can anybody? Sustainable business. What is that? So people are doing a lot of businesses. We can see a lot of businesses. You are working in a lot of business places. So what is the difference between that business and sustainable business?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
Talk. So yeah, like the idea I got about sustainable business is like even with its fully functioning power, if it is operating sustainable, it should have the ability to preserve with the sources and the energy that the business carries itself until for a further time. Like it shouldn't fade away. if it is a sustainable business, the environment of it should not fade away with time if it is operating like sustainably.
Okay, thank you. Good. Somewhat it is correct. Okay, so sustainable means it's long term, right? You are not going to stop at even COVID-19 period. You can see a lot of businesses has closed down, right? Because that businesses are not sustainable. There's something wrong what they are doing. That is why they had to close down. Okay, so therefore it is a very big theory and a lot of things you have to understand. So by doing a business, what are you expecting normally? Any business, any company, where are you working or whatever? What is the main aim of a business, especially in a private sector?
To make a profit.
To make a profit, yes, very good. Why are you aiming for a profit?
Because you risked your capital and you want a return from it.
Yes, actually, the private sector, it's not like government sector. The people are investing money, right? So your hard-earned money, you are not going to waste unnecessarily. You want a return. Otherwise, you will not invest in the business. You put it to the bank and get an interest, doing nothing. Okay, but you are doing a business. The aim is to get more return than saving in a bank. So therefore, you are completely, anybody who is investing in a company has an absolute right to earn profit. Then without profit, you can't further expand. So therefore, number one is profit. So therefore, it's an economical profit. So then a lot of companies in early days up to now, right? We were aimed to get the economic sustainability. That means to survive long term, you need a lot of money. Then only you can grow. Any example you can give? Telling about Sri Lankan context? Any example? Any company who starts small and grown bigger? What is the largest private sector company operating in Sri Lanka, providing the most number of employment to the people? What is the company? Anybody knows? Make a try at least. You are a business student. Pardon?
Is it Hemas?
Hemas. No, not Hemas. What I'm asking is the largest company who provide the number of employments, not the profits, they make number of employments in private sector in Sri Lanka.
John Keels.
John Keels, right? Okay. Any other suggestions?
MAS.
MAS, mass holding. Yes. Who is that?
Sidath.
Sidath. Okay. Right. MAS is the largest. Right. MAS is providing more than 100,000 employees. Employed 100,000 employees in the group of companies within the country. So MAS started just 30 years ago with a 25 number of employees with one production line. Okay. If they didn't make profits, Can they come to this stage after 30 years? No. So therefore, these profits are necessary. So economic sustainability is necessary. So the best example is within 30 years, they provide 100,000 employment to Sri Lankans, right? So therefore, they got the economic sustainability. There are a lot of companies like John Keel, say Mars, what you mentioned, Haley, Atkins Spence. There are many companies, right, who employ a lot of people, right? But mass holding has bypassed all these companies within 30 years. So therefore, economic sustainability is very much necessary. Then you have to get the ecological sustainability. Ecological sustainability. Ecological sustainability means while you are doing your business, you must protect your environment. Okay, so that is the ecological sustainability. Then the next one is you get your community, your society, because from the community, you get the employees, your customers, your suppliers, all coming from your community, right? So therefore, you have to protect them. You cannot kill them. You cannot do anything bad to them, right? So therefore, earlier the people only focus on economic sustainability, but now, so we are focusing on environmental sustainability and society, people sustainability. So therefore, we call this as a triple bottom line, right? Not only one bottom line, which was profit. Now we are looking at 3 bottom lines. So managing this is not that easy. Managing all these 3 and go forward. So that is what is called sustainable development goals. So therefore, actually the United Nations, they have come with this sustainable development goals. They mentioned about 17 sustainable development goals like this. Okay, so these are the 17 sustainable goals. Okay, so why United Nations has suddenly came out with that? Suddenly, not in the suddenly, actually before year 2000, they announced this. There are 17 points, they say, we have to manage. Why is that? Anybody knows? What are the reasons? Can anybody contribute? Right, because of the time is taking, so I will tell you. Because in the entire world, right, you get the developed countries, you get underdeveloped countries, you get poor countries, different levels. So how to measure the country's success? What are the measurements to measure country's success?
GDP per head.
A GDP, right? Okay. What is GDP per head? What is GDP means?
Gross domestic product.
Yeah. So how to calculate GDP?
The total produce of the country divided by the average population.
Oh, total products of the value of the products and services developed by the produced by the country is GDP. So then the GDP is divided by the population. Will tell you what GDP is, the total number. So once it is divided by the population, the answer is what?
GDP per capita.
Per capita income, yes. Income generated in that country per person. So that is a one measurement. So what is the per capita income of Sri Lanka? at the moment? Anybody knows? It is strange that business students doesn't know per capita income of Sri Lanka. How many dollars? At least guess.
Around 12,000.
Around how much?
$12,000.
12,000?
Yeah.
No. 12,000 right?
I'm not sure of
12,000
the.
is very large.
Yeah, I'm not
Huh?
sure of the. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I think around $4,200.
Yes. Just less than 4,000. Very good. Just less than 4,000. 3,000 plus something. Now 3,800 plus something. We are trying to achieve $4,000 per capita income. So that is not only the GDP and per capita income is not the only indicator. So there are so many other indicators in the measuring the development of a country. Okay, and whether the people are in good shape, whether the people are happy, whether people are in poverty. Some countries whether they are poor but the people are happy. Some countries whether they are very rich but they are not happy. So there are so many indications. So therefore this is don't go only on per capita income, right? But anyway, it's an indicator. It is an indicator. But what UN says, but to achieve these developments, we are consuming resources in the world at a rate. At the moment, we are consuming it for various purposes. For the factories, we are consuming it as an input, right? A lot of materials we use, a lot of raw materials. We are using a lot of energy. We are using money. We are using water, right? A lot of things we are using. So once we are using that, what will happen is those resources are diminishing, right? It gets reduced. So one day, if the resources are not available in this world, what will happen to the livelihood of the people? When the resources are not there, if the food is not there, if the water is not there, if the energy is not there, what will happen? Can we live in this planet?
No.
Can?
Hard to live.
Hard to live, yes. Not hard to live. We will be eliminated. Right? So when it is going to happen? Now we are in 2020, 2022. Now make a calculate karla thina. This was already calculated. So at the rate what we are consuming now, if we are going to continue the consumption, all the resources in the entire world is going to end in 2050. Right? 2000 by 2050, we all have to die without resources. Are you ready? Would you want that to happen or not?
No.
No. Yes. No. Right? So are you ready? If you are not ready, then what you have to do? You have to stop it somehow or other. You have to change it. You have to change the way the entire world is working now. So that is why United Nations came with these 17 development goals, sustainable development goals. What they say is if we are not going to achieve these 17, the entire world is going to end in 2050. So therefore, It is a responsibility of everybody, whether you are rich or poor, in a rich country or poor country, right? This is everybody's responsibility. So by 2030, we have to achieve another 8 years more. So a lot of things we have to do, but still everybody in our country, even in business world, business people, the people who are in the working environment and the students doesn't know this. Then how to change this? How to achieve this? This is a huge problem. But I'm happy to say in the Sustainable Development Goal achievements list in the entire world, last year Sri Lanka was in 94th place, and this year we have advanced it to 87th place. Okay, we were doing something good. Our country has done something good according to that list. We are going forward. Okay, so therefore we are just going to our responsibility in everybody's hands is very, very big task to achieve. I think අපි මේ බලන්නේ how we are going to understand these 17 points, whether we can achieve it or not, right? So number one is this poverty. So we have to eliminate poverty from the entire world. So what is the poverty? Right? Duppatkama. Globally, the number of people living in extreme poverty declined to 10%. Right? From 36%, it has brought down to 10%. But now with the pandemic, COVID-19, the situation changed. So development economic research warns that economic from the global pandemic could increase the global poverty as the half a billion people, or 8% of the total human population. So because of the pandemic, the poverty level is going up again. So more than 700 million people, or 10% of the world population, still live in the extreme poverty today. Right? 700 million people out of the entire population of the world. So we have to eradicate poverty from the world by 2030. Can we do that? This is the goal number one. Okay, so business people, when you are doing business, you have to keep in mind, this is what we have to do. We have to make the economic profit. Yes, true. But keeping these things achieving. Okay. So then number two, zero hunger. So poverty, with poverty, what is coming is a lot of people are suffering from without food, without anything to eat. Current eliminate shows that nearly 690 million people are hungry out of the world population, up by 10 million people in 1 year, nearly 60 million in 5 years. So you can see it is increasing. There's nothing to eat. So how much of foods you all are wasting when you are eating? Kalpana kara, hitan. පාන් කෑල්ලක් ගත්තාම මැද කාලා වාටිය විසි කරන අය ඕන තරම් මෙතන ඇති. නේ? පීස් එකක් ගත්තාම ක්‍රස්ට් එක විසි කරලා දාන කට්ටිය ඕන තරම් මෙතන ඇති. When you serve your plate, I can't eat this කියලා ඩස්බින් එකට හලන අය ඕන තරම් මෙතන ඇති. You have to stop this behavior immediately, because you are depriving others. Right? Think about this. The world is not on track to achieve zero hunger by 2030. So we are behind the schedule. If the recent trend is continued, the number of people affected by hunger in the world surpass by 2030. Okay? The COVID-19 pandemic could now double that number, putting additional 130 million people at risk of suffering acute hunger. Because this is the effect of COVID-19. Right? So therefore, achieving this 2030 target is pushed little bit further delayed from this target, number 2, zero hunger. Then the goal number 3, COVID-19 is good health and well-being, good health. Now COVID-19 is a health problem. Okay. So COVID-19 is spreading human suffering, disabling the economy and upsetting the lives of the billions of people. You know what has happened. Before the pandemic, major progress was made in improving the millions of people because of the development of medical health in the world. What has happened? Life expectancy of the people has gone up. The people are living in a lot of countries more than 80 years, 90 years, going closer to 95 years to 100 years. In another 20 years time, if the pandemic is not doing any harm, in future, the you people, how many years you are going to live, target to live? Anybody tell me? කොච්චර කාල ජීවත් වෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවද? ඒකවත් දන්නේ නැහැ. How many years? Tell me fast.
No such target as yet.
කියන්නේ? අවුන්නේ නැහැ. Repeat it again.
70 years.
70 years. Very good. 70 years. Is it so? Now we are hoping to work. Now the government has extended the retirement age from 55 to 65. Why is that? Because the people are living longer. That is the reason. 65. So after 65, you are going to retire, and in 70, you are going to die. Is it so? Anybody else? Now my aim is to live 100 years. 100 years in full working condition, not in bedridden. Okay? Keep a target like that. You can do that. Maybe I can't do that, but you can do that. Because medical health is alarmingly increasing. Doing the developments. Like the news, the man is living with the heart of a pig. They have done a heart transplant. You heard that news? They have transplanted a heart from the pig to a man. He is living nicely. So what will happen in future? You will get kidneys, lungs, and everything from pigs and and artificial things are also coming. Right? So nothing, no problem. If your heart is wrong, you put another heart. If your kidney is wrong, you put another kidney. So you can live 100 years without any problem. Right? So get ready to do this. Good health and well-being. So inner well-being, keep your fitness, right? Don't eat like a pig, right? So therefore, control your diet, take healthy foods, do your exercises, right? Target to work, live 100 years. So live 100 years means you have to work 100 years. Not that retired at age and 65 and thereafter thrown away to the road. Who knows that your children will look after you all? What is the guarantee you can give? Right? So keep your health, well-being. Then the quality of education, number 4, goal number 4. About 600 and 260 million children are still out of school in 2018. 260 million. Our country, at least this target is good, right? At least a lot of people are going to school. So near 1/5 of the global population, that age group, under that age group. COVID-19 pandemic spread across the globe. the majority of could announce the temporary closure of the school. The COVID has done a lot of bad things, right? A lot of school children and the university children, they couldn't do go into the school, but at least with the online, this technology is available. We were just managing a little bit, but going on in online education is not good for children, right? It has so many repercussions has come. So therefore, this is good for in an emergency situation, but you have to have the face-to-face classes. That is what is necessary. And nearly 369 million children who really on school meals need to look after. Now, a lot of school children are going to school because to get the meal, especially in poor countries, because UNICEF and United Nations and a lot of organizations are giving meals, free meals to school children, undernourished children, poor countries. අපේ රටෙත් කලින් දුන්නා. ඉස්කෝලේ ගියාම කිරි දුන්නා, බනිස් දුන්නා, බිස්කට් දුන්නා. ලංකාවෙත්, but now it is not there. Maybe Sri Lanka now developed. No, this is the reason. Okay, so the children are coming to school just to get that meal. So when the school stopped and you get the conduct the classes in online, how can it happen? Right? Big question mark. Okay. Then gender equality. What is the meaning of gender equality? So that is mean you don't consider whether you are male or female in doing anything. When you are selection for a job or education or any position or anything, right? So the equal rights for everybody without any discrimination. Samara jobs, it has only open for males. Some jobs only open for females. So that is not gender equality. So therefore, gender equality is a fundamental human right. So there has been progress over the last decades. More girls are going to school, fewer girls are forced into the early marriages. More women are in the parliament and position of the leaderships, right? So that is because the women are also coming equally closer with the males to so many positions. In Sri Lanka, women bypass males, no? Yes or no? Do you know it? The population wise, Sri Lanka, women has about 52%, men has about 48% population. So women population in Sri Lanka is more. Then from education level, if you go to any place, you go to any bank, government bank, private bank, any government office, private office, right? Go to law college, go to medical faculty, go to Achievers Business School. I don't know how it is happening. Go to a CIMA class and see. Who has taken over? Majority, university entrance, about 65% are girls in Sri Lanka. Right? So in Sri Lanka, majority of lawyers are women. Majority of doctors are women now. Majority of judges are women. Army and police, everybody is coming up now. Recently, the woman DIG also came up. Okay, at a rate, they are alarmingly taking over. Good. But what men are doing, this is the problem. Okay, something to think. Right, 1 in 5 women and girls between age of 15 to 49 report experienced in physical and sexual violence by an intimate partners within a 12 months period. So with that, there are so many home violence, even the workplace violences, right? Sexual harassments and all these things are there. But you have to eliminate that. That is the goal. Gender equality is there, right? We give the opportunity, at the same time treat them in fairness. So then the goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. Clean water. Right to access clean water. Is this a problem in Sri Lanka? Clean water and sanitation. Worldwide, 1 in 3 people do not have access to safe and drinking water. The worldwide. The COVID-19 pandemic has demonstrated the critical importance of sanitation, hygiene, and the adequate access to clean. Right? Yet billions of people still lack safe water, sanitation, and fundamental, and it's inadequate. So this is another issue. But Sri Lanka, do we have this problem? Sri Lanka is the one country who has enough water resources. Enough water resources. Right? We have naturally made 103 water streams. Mudata galagana yanawa with good water throughout the year. 103 streams in Sri Lanka. Nowhere in the world you can get this type of country. And we have a man-made tanks from during our ancient period of our king's time. They have made about 33,000 tanks. 33,000. It's not a joke. Huh? Nowhere in the world you get a 33,000 man-made tanks. Tank, it's not a tank, it is waver. Waver is not a tank. There's no word in English vocabulary to, in the English language to mention waver. Right? So they say it's tank. It's wrong. Okay, because the waver has a different capacity and different these things. Okay, so that is how. So therefore, Sri Lanka is a place where we had a lot of clean water and sanitation, especially clean water, access to clean water. But now you see what has happened from the especially north and east area. Because the people don't have drinkable water due to certain, again, the problems made by people. Now we have to drink bottled water. The people have to buy bottled water to drink. And you go to the north and east areas, go to the rural villages and see. Even small children are with acute kidney diseases. Right? So they buy water. 1 gallon is 1 rupee. Right? In Sri Lanka, the country with so much of access to clean water, who thought that we have to buy water to drink? So another point to think about. Then number 7, affordable and clean energy. Right? Energy sources. Now every day, these days, we are talking about energy, power cuts. You don't know at what time the power goes. Right? If the power goes off, even we have to stop this one. No? We will put a alternate solution. I can do the lecture. I can join without power. Hotspot එකෙන් එන්න පුළුවන් ඇවිල්ලා කරුවලේ ඉඳන් මම කියන්නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහගෙන ඉන්න. හරිද? මේ power gap එක. Can't help. Huh? So therefore affordable and clean energy. So what are the clean energy? Anybody? Clean energy කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? And renewable energy. What is that? Any feedback from anybody? ඒ කියන්නේ energy වල තියෙනවා ಜಾති දෙකක්. Clean එකයි non clean. Unclean energy and clean energy. So this is when we are producing energy, what is happening? So you know, in our country, we have a lot of this hydropower. So energy is produced by water, So it is a clean energy. Nothing is happening to the environment, and environment is not damaging. If we get energy from solar power, it's a clean energy. If we get energy from wind power, it is a clean energy. But we get energy from diesel power, diesel generators. We get energy from coal power, Noracholi. So these two are very, very bad because it produces a lot of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and things like that. And even coal is producing ash. There are two types of ash. They produce the top ash and bottom ash like that. So that will harm to the environment. We get the energy by harming the environment. So therefore, we have to stop it as soon as possible. Recently, about 2 months ago, I don't know whether you have seen this, the UK, they have blasted 7 number of coal power plants. 7 number of coal power plants blasted. Eka parata bomb set karla blast kara. Because to achieve this goal, they say we are going to stop making the power from coal thereafter. They would have removed, dismantled the plants and given to the poorer countries like us. Here, 1 plant free of charge. Because why? If you are doing it anywhere in the world, it is harmful to entire world. But we have 1 plant at Noracholi. Once it is breakdown, no power to Sri Lanka. So we are having a hunger in power. But there is a green light. We are going to convert into the LNG. LNG is a clean energy. It's a liquid natural gas getting from the like diesel and petrol. You can get it. The gas is available in Sri Lanka. It was found that Sri Lanka in Mana area, Tale Mana, in Pesale, you get the liquid natural gas. So that is why the first liquid natural LNG plant is coming up at Keravalapitti, 300 megawatt plant. Then we have a plan to put another 2 plants there. Then 600 and 900 will come. That means the available Yugadanavi diesel plant will be converted into LNG once LNG is available. Then 300 plus 300, 600, another one is coming. Then 900. Then Kalnitisa, we can get another 150. So like that, once we make 1050 megawatts LNG supply in Sri Lanka, we can go for oil exploration in Mana. So Sri Lanka's future is not that dangerous, right? We have resources are available. What the problem is managing. So that is why we need young people to manage these things. Right? The future is in your hands. If you are not going to manage this, who's going to manage? Okay, so then affordable and clean. You know that if we get the LNG power in Sri Lanka, according to the plan, if we produce LNG today, actually our CCSD company, we did the environmental impact management for this Ceylon Electricity Board, for Yugadanavi, this company. It's a company owned by Ceylon Electricity Board, government company. They are the people who are going to do this. To do this environmental study, because by doing that, you can't harm to the environment. It is coming at Keravalapitti. Okay. So once if this starts today, but it was delayed 3 years. Now already 5 years gilla iwarai. Taama katawa vitarai. Dan nan ithin me EIA ekath iwarai ළඟදී පටන් ගනි. If we make it today, 76 million rupees will be saved to Ceylon Electricity Board per day. මතක තියාගන්න. per day. 76 million rupees per day. So what will happen to your light bill in future? It has to be reduced. ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ affordable clean energy. Affordable. හැබැයි වෙන්න ඕන ලංකාවේ මේක අනිත් පැත්තට ඇයිද දන්නේ නැහැ. හරි. We can't guarantee that, but we do whatever we can do, but don't know what will happen. So because even in the electricity board, they started up recently 100 megawatts wind power plant at Manawalane, 100 megawatts. And they are going to put another 100 megawatts power plant at Punareen. Another 100 megawatts at Ampara. So 300 megawatts coming from there, clean energy. And every household top of their roof, if we put solar panels, the sunlight is freely available to our country. Monowada karande bari. But no plan, still no plan. So government has to spend for those things. Like our pohoranikandu unna wage. So these are the areas to do. National budget has reserved money for these things. Okay, the energy අපිට පුළුවන් හොඳටම ගොඩ යන්න. Then the decent work and economic growth. Decent work. What is the meaning of decent work? So you are doing a work which is not decent at the moment. Yes, some people are doing decent work and sustainability. Sustained and inclusive economic growth can drive progress. Decent jobs for all and improve living standards. So there should be a decent jobs for the people, right? Some people are not doing not decent jobs. So like that, there are a lot of sex workers in these countries. And these are not decent jobs, no, but there's nothing to do, they do it. So therefore, these are the things you have to look into and eliminate. So there are people involving in these type of businesses, drug trafficking, right? Which is harmful to the society. So you can make your economic sustainability by doing that, but it will damage the society. Okay, so that is why we are not looking at only money. We are looking at three things. So that is the principle. You can sustain. Okay, so COVID-19 has disrupted billions of lives and endangered the economy. So a lot of people has lost their jobs. Okay, so at least if you have a job now, even these days, right, try to protect it. Don't try to change the jobs at this time. This is a very, very difficult time to find another new job. As job losses escalate, the International Labour Organization, ILO, estimates that nearly half of the global workforce is at a risk of losing their livelihood. But there is now the people, the WHO has announced that pandemic is going to end up with the end of 2022, right? Because now the virus is little bit getting, the people are getting more immune to the virus than and Omicron is not that, even though it is fast spreading, it is not that deadly, right? You get just a fever for just that. End of 2022, when we will be okay. Then all entire world will be start going like early. Okay, we hope that that will happen. It might turn around. Okay, but keep in mind, whatever the job you are doing, so it has to be a decent one, right? Whether you are sanitary worker, cleaner, for cleaning your toilets in the what, it has to be a decent job. You have to give a lot of equipments and the dignity to that person to do that job. Right? But in our country, only these things are happening. But some countries, this is not happening. If anybody go to Japan, you can see. Everybody in the organization take turns and cleaning their workplaces. There are no sanitary workers in Japanese companies. You can see the managing director washing the workers' toilet in Japan. I have seen into my own eyes. Workers' toilet. Brashekara Madina Bakauda, see you. Lankavinam Veda. So these are the things we have to do. We have to evap ganne. A culture kape ne ape dina one of the cleaning service. All substandard work higher, right? So therefore these things has to be even in European countries you have. A lot of people, once you end of the day, they clean their workplaces and go. Right? So decent work. So number 9, industry innovation and infrastructure. So infrastructure development is very much needed. You can see a lot of highways are coming. Railway lines should come. Our country, highways is not the answer, but actually the entire world, the development of the railway is the answer. But it is not a diesel railway, it's electrical railway, electrified railway. So what is the fastest running railway in the world? Anybody knows? Speediest railway. At what speed it runs?
I don't know exactly about the speed, but is it the bullet train in Japan?
Again, I can't.
Is it the bullet train in Japan, which is running in Japan? I don't know the speed exactly, but
Yes, we are correct. Bullet train in the Japan running at the 300 kilometers per hour, introduced by Japanese in 1964 for Tokyo Olympics. Their innovation for Tokyo Olympics 1984, bullet train running at 300 kilometers per hour. Ape Lankawe kiyata duwan? Anybody knows? Even not achieving 100 kilometers per hour. They ran their train 300 kilometers per hour in 1964. Anna innovation. Dan kiyata duwanne eka? 300, 1964. Dan duwana 550 kilometers per hour. The latest train is running from Shanghai to Beijing, running at 550 kilometers per hour. Lankawe udayinam palleyata diga kiyada? From Peduru Tuduwa to Devundara Tuduwa. Anybody knows? The general knowledge is very poor. Oh my bad. It's about 420. Right? So Chinese are running the train at 550 kilometers per hour. අපිට මීගමුවේ ඉඳන් කොළඹට වැඩට එන්න කොච්චර වෙලා යනවද? කඩුවෙල ඉඳන් කොළඹට එන්න කොච්චර වෙලා යනවද? හොරණ ඉඳන් කොළඹට එන්න කොච්චර වෙලා යනවද? going more than 1 hour, 1.5 hours. How many hours you are wasting in the road? So the road is not the answer. Answer is the train. So a lot of innovations are coming, industry innovations. So in future there is a that 550 kilometer per hour train is running not on electricity. It is running on magnetic power. It is called maglev trains, magnetic levy train. Theoretically, this can be developed to go up 3,500 kilometers per hour, theoretically. Tama bෑ. Theoretically, then පුළුවන්. 3,500 kilometers per hour. In another 20 years' time, it will happen. The train will come from this longest train line in Trans-Siberian railway line. The train will start from Japan. It will come to London in 3 hours. It was they are not necessary to have airlines. The people will run on trains. So therefore, innovation is the answer. Infrastructure development, industry innovation. So that is why we are focusing on artificial intelligence. That is the innovation, that is the future. They play a key role in introducing and promoting new technologies, facilitating international trade and enabling the efficient use of resources. In Aperate, can you see during the traffic time, so many policemen in the junctions and controlling the traffic. See the poor fellows, how much of pain they are undergo. One day I asked one of the traffic police at what time you are coming to the junction. They says by 6:30 we have to be there. But till 9:30 they can't go back to the police station. So without having a breakfast, without having a even glass of water, without having, if in emergency to go to toilet, they have to be there in roads, controlling traffic. Easily it can be taken over by artificial intelligence. So we have so many IT specialists, so many people. So many universities are there. So many engineers are here. But still, that poor constable controlling the traffic. So there are things to think. Put your efforts to solve these issues. However, the world still has a long way to go for fully tap this potential. This is what Japanese did this year for this year's Olympic. After 1964, this is the last year, they got the chance to conduct the next Olympic. So in the Olympic village, what they did, they introduced driverless vehicles. Automated driven vehicles, auto-driven vehicles. You get into the vehicle, there's no driver. You put it to the Google and you say, I want to go to that place. The car driven automatically. They tested this year in the Olympic village. So that is Japanese innovation. You go and you can find out all this technology. Apple is in the lot of research. Google is doing a lot of research, right? Things are coming in future. It will automatically goes. No drivers. Drivers will going to lose the business in future. Then there are automated driven vehicles. There will be no accidents because all system controlled driving. So it is systematic driving controlled by artificial intelligence. No accidents. When there are no accidents, no need to have insurance. So all insurance companies will have to close down. They will lose their business. The police will lose their traffic police is not necessary. They will lose their jobs. Traffic court is not necessary because there are no accidents. So lawyers will lose their jobs. Then there are no accidents. There are no need to have a garages. So garage people will lose their jobs. See what is going to happen through innovations in future. Okay. So when you are in these type of jobs now, think about what will happen to your jobs in future. Okay, because artificial intelligence will be replace a lot of people. Repetitive jobs, if you are doing, in danger. The goal number 10, reduce inequality. There are a lot of inequalities are taking place. The people are not considered. They were, we say, agenda wise, religion wise, race wise, languages wise. There are a lot of inequalities. I think we have to eliminate all these. COVID-19 has deepened existing inequalities. Between the poorest and vulnerable communities, the hardest. So we are going to, it is another goal. At the same time, social, political, and economic inequalities have to be eliminated. So these are all the majority of the politicians are using this to create inequalities to get their vote base. So that is what. So you have to think about this and go against all these traditional politicians and their policies. Okay, new thinking is not necessary. Sorry, don't expect them to implement this. They will never do this. Not only in our country, many countries, especially in a lot of Asian countries. Right? But in European countries, things are changing. Okay. So then number 11, sustainable cities. Yes, 60% of world population is in cities. The world is becoming increasingly urbanized. Right? From 2007, a lot of people, half of the world's population are living in cities because the people are coming from village to city. So looking for jobs and various things and get more benefits. Right? Like electricity, water, and more roads and like that. So cities and metropolitan areas contributing about 60% of the GDP, not the village. Cities are doing that. However, they also account for about 70% of the carbon emissions and over 60% of the resource use. So they do more means they are the people polluting the environment more. So we have to reduce that. The rapid urbanization is resulting in the growing number of the slum dwellers. Even we can see in certain cities, in certain countries, you get so much of the shanties coming up. If you go to some countries, you can see this. If you go to India, you can see this. The area of like Bombay, Calcutta, even Madras, but they are also developing. It's reducing. They are also going forward. It's better. Right? Even go to Thailand, you can see in Bangkok area, so much of slums are there. In Sri Lanka also, we had slums, but we are also little by little, there's a certain percentage, it has been changed. So some more to do. So therefore, ultimately, we have to get a sustainable city. City is not with the slums. It is full sustainable city. Everybody will get a lot of facilities. Okay. And responsible consumption. Responsible consumption. That means you should consume only what you need. You must not consume others' quotas. Make වැඩියම කරන්නේ the rich people. They overconsume. Right? They use others' quotas. It's very bad. Okay. So in our culture, it was not there. In our Sri Lankan culture, it was not there. We were very responsible consumption people. We never waste food. Hari අර කවියක් තියෙන්නේ මේගසේ බොහෝ පැණිදොඩ අන්තියේ නංගිටයි මටයි ගෙඩි දෙකක් ඇති. නේ? පොඩි කාලේ කියන්නේ ඉස්කෝලේ. අහලා තියෙනව නේද? Right? So that is the responsible consumption. දැන් කිව්වනම් ওই කවිය කියන්නේ ඔහොම නෙවෙයි. නංගිටයි මටයි ගහම මදි කිය. I want everything. Even not given to the Nangi also. I consume everything. So that is greedy consumption. So we have to change it to sustainable consumption, responsible consumption. Therefore, don't waste food. Huh? From today itself, you stop it. Go to the wedding and see how the people are. Go to the others. If you are going to get a party on others' cost, you see how people waste food. Go to the buffet table and see how much of serving, how much of food you serve to your table and throw it away. Each year, an estimated 1/3 of the whole food produced equivalent to the billion tons worth around 1 trillion ends up in rotting in the bins. තේරෙනවද? කොච්චර මිනිස්සු food නාස්ති කරනවද? If the people worldwide switch to energy efficient light bulbs, the world saved $120 billion annually. ගෙදර තාම තියෙනවා නම් light filament bulb, immediately change to LED. Right? You can contribute. Should the global population reach 9.6 billion by 2050? This is the target. This will happen. 9.6 billion, it will be little bit, then the COVID about 500,000. Globally about 2-3 million. No? So therefore, don't expect COVID to kill, reduce the population. It will not happen. Okay, so therefore, so much of money, so much of food necessary. So don't waste. Then climate action. Climate changing will happen because of all these things happen. If you are doing especially the burning of these fossil fuels. What will happen? This carbon dioxide emission levels and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere rose to new records in 2019. So when the greenhouse gases are coming, what will happen? It will dissolve the permafrost ice deposits in North Pole and South Pole. It's not coming for this shorter period. It was there for centuries and centuries. Right? This is start reducing, the melting. The melting, and what will happen? It goes to the rivers and river goes to the sea and the sea level is going up. Right? If the global temperature is again, if another increase by another 2 degrees, entire Maldives will go under the water. Even Sri Lanka, a lot of coastal areas will go underwater. Right? It's a huge problem, climate change. So therefore, we have to stop it. So then number 14, life below water. There are a lot of life below water. The fish. So we are depending on fish. Right? So they are in danger because a lot of pollution takes place. You see what has happened about that burning of that ship close to Sri Lanka. About more than 1,200 turtles were died. No? So therefore, we have a duty to protect them. Okay. So number 15, life on land. Then the life on the land, the forest. Around 1 million animal and plant species are threatened because of the deforesting. What is the largest forest in the entire world? Amazon. A lot of people are cutting down Amazon every year. So the Amazon is the oxygen machine to the entire world. In our country, we have Singaraju. Right? We have to protect the forest cover should be at least 30% forest cover should be there in any country. Up 25% tibba dan tiyenne 15යි. We have to do reforestation. Go to the upcountry and see lot of abandoned tea lands. Without any tree. It's a crime. So we have to do the change immediately. At least plant a tree every year. Look after, grow it. Don't cut any tree. Because the trees are the oxygen machine. They are the people who are absorb carbon dioxide and produce the oxygen. No, otherwise, you have to buy oxygen every year, every day. Then like now you are getting water bottled for the workplace. No. Then during our period when we are going to school, we never bought a water bottle. We drink from the school tap. Everybody. Nothing happens. Then back. Then water bottle. So by 2050, you have to get the oxygen tank also. Then what will happen to the life on the land? Okay. So then the peace, justice, and strong institutions. We have to have very strong institutions to do this. Peace, justice. So what is that? Court systems, legal systems, police, whatever. Here, what they said in 2019, United Nations tracked 357 killings and 30 disappearances of human rights defenders. The people who are fighting for people, human rights. 357 killed. By whom? Maybe by politicians, maybe by governments. Therefore, a lot of things. Then number 17, final goal, partnerships. Right? Whatever you do, you have to have partnership with everybody. A successful development agenda requires inclusive partnership. Nobody is excluded, everybody included. Upon principles and values. So you have to have a good principles and good value system. Shared vision. Shared placing people and the planet at the center. The planet is the most important thing. Not your country, not your whatever. So if you protect this, then you can give it to the future generation. So these are the sustainable development goals. If you are doing a business, you have to include all these 17 principles in your business, in your workplaces, wherever you are working, wherever you are doing. In future also, if you are trying to do a business, right? Otherwise, at 2050, we all are going to die. So it is in everybody's hand. Are we going to protect the planet or are we going to destroy it? At the rate we are doing, it will be destroyed. If we make a stop by 2030, everybody in the entire world, if we can at least implement at least 70%, 80% of this, we are in the goal. So therefore, our goal is that we have 3 pillars in sustainability. One is economic goal. We have to make money. We have to make profits. Otherwise, we can't go forward. We can't develop. Then we have to think about social. We have to think about people, treating employees equally, giving good salary, treating them nicely, giving them their rights. Okay, treating your buyers and your customers in the same level. Some businesses, they are not doing that. They are trying to kill their customers sometimes. They are trying to kill their suppliers. They think only we should survive, not the others. It should be not the way. Right? It is very difficult to understand these things and doing the practices. Right? So therefore, community-oriented culture. Encourage employees, innovative, sustainable labor, safe work environment, fair wages, respectful to the community. These are the things you have to implement. Certain things are there, but not like, I will tell you one examples, but if I tell you examples, some people might get angry, but doesn't matter. The best example is the recent gas blast. co-sustainable principle. When the gas tanks are blasting, the Litro gas chairman is coming and laughing at the TV and say, nothing happened. I don't know. I'm not responsible. No one responsible. Are we responsible? So co-sustainability principle. Have they thought about their people, customers? No, still nothing. 7 people has died. So many people's kitchens and their equipment get blasted. So far nothing happens. Even no apology even. From the minister, from the president, from anybody. So is it correct? So recently these people were, can you remember this, our train system? Station masters striked. They started the train from somewhere. Badulla train, they stopped at Kandy during the midnight. And they say the train is not going from thereafter. For the people, where are they going? With the children, they don't have anything to eat. They don't have anything to stay, anywhere to stay. They don't have buses to go to Badulla. So is it responsible, socially responsible business they are doing? They were trying to achieve only their rights. Sometimes what doctors are doing, sometimes what nurses are doing. Is those things are correct? These are the things you have to achieve your goals, your rights. That is true. But you must not penalize your customers by doing that. Then finally, environment. By doing all these things, you have to completely protect your environment. By 2050, everybody in the question now. So are you frightened? What do you think? Can you do this? So this is what the sustainable development principles are, but it's a huge area, right? I just cut short and just give you insight only this. Okay. So advantages is that there are many advantages: improve the trust and engagement between staff, attracts and retain employees, builds credibility, reinforce community relations, encourage innovation that benefits, that measurements a better understanding of your customers. And you see, make a karanda barid me balandu. These are the figures. Reforest the entire earth. It's taking only 6 billion. Protect tropical forest, $8 billion. Restore greenlands, right? $9 billion. Stabilize water table, $10 billion. But this is what people are wasting. World military, $1.2 trillion spending for military. US military itself spending 560 billion. US highways, 29 billion. Potato chips and shrimp snacks, 22 billion. Pet foods, 19 billion. So many figures. Here, if you want to total earth restoration and social budget, only $245 billion needed. Mulu lokema repair කරන්න යන්නේ $245 billion. But the people are spending, these countries are spending, entire world is spending here 1.2 trillion for military. So something is wrong, no? Something is wrong somewhere. Okay. So therefore, this can be done if everybody got together and in one sound they say, you have to do this. Then it can be done. Otherwise, you know what is going to happen. Okay, don't get frightened. but work towards to achieve this goal. Okay then, thank you. Then I stop my lecture from at this point. So if you have any questions, please ask at that during that Q&A time.
I hope that session was insightful to everyone and you learned a lot. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat box, and also you can raise your hands and we will give you a chance to ask the question yourself. Before moving on to the Q&A session, we would like to give a shout out to our partners.
Now all my bill payments are right at my fingertips.
I'm in touch with my BOC card whenever, wherever.
BOC Smart Online Banking creates time for the important things in life while your banking is done securely with ease and speed, wherever you may be.
CCSD, Consortium of Consultants for Sustainable Development, is a pool of renowned experts with diverse interests working together to achieve sustainable development. It works on 3 service verticals: impact assessment and mitigation, artificial intelligence-based process improvement solutions. As the 3rd vertical, and in partnership with Infosite DMCC Dubai, CCSD offers master designs in ICT, AV, ELV, security and acoustics technologies to promote sustainable development. It promotes career paths in association with Big C USA.
Ceylon Today, Truth Uncropped.
Hi guys, my name is Pula. I'm an entrepreneur. I work as a student coach and my business is based around YouTube. Hub9 has played a major role in my work life. Since Hub9 offers 24/7 access, it has been very convenient for me. Between shooting, editing my videos and doing coaching sessions, I work on a very flexible schedule. There's air conditioning, you can just come in and plug your laptop and start work. There's no hassle at all. The staff and the people you find here are really friendly. You get tea as well, so overall you can just focus on your work and get a lot of it done within a day. The internet speed here is super fast and that has helped me a lot with my upload. There's a chill out area downstairs. I go there when I need to take a break or just a change in my environment. It helps to keep my balance while I'm working here. This meeting room is really nice. I have used it for some of my interviews and I also use it for my coaching sessions and meetings with clients. If you are working here, you can easily book it for your meetings as well. During the pandemic, Hub9 has taken all the necessary precautions to keep all of us safe, so that's all good. The value I get for the 15,000 rupees I invest at Hub9 is just amazing. If you're just starting off your business, this is a good place to start.
Meet Nadisha and Nipani. They make upcycle products and want to share this passion. So they started a business and took it online using Shopbox. Shopbox is an online commerce solution which allows anyone to easily and affordably sell online. It provides all the tools needed to set up and run your own website. Have your online store set up in minutes by entering your store details and uploading your products. Taking the hassle out of setting up and maintaining an online store, Shopbox helps you work on the more important things, like growing your business. Make your business successful. Shopbox.
Bank of Ceylon, bearer of the nation's proud lion crest, is honoured to be named Bank of the Year 2021 Sri Lanka by the globally renowned The Banker magazine UK. We salute all Sri Lankans who have empowered our journey to victory.
If you have any questions, you can ask them yourselves, or you can drop them in the chat box and we will direct them to me.
Hi, hi, Mrs. Sidath, this is Bipash speaking. Yes, Mrs. Sidath, is actually in relation to a certain aspect that I mentioned earlier as well. So when we started this conversation, so it's actually in relation to the tax aspect. So basically in relation to the tax aspect, through the amendment recently, during the previous year, there were certain tax exemptions given to certain corporations if they come into going to certain renewable energy projects, they'll have certain tax exemptions. And there are certain individual reliefs given to certain people who fix solar panels. But at the same time, do you think taxing corporations based on their pollution, or you say if they let's say we give them certain target and they go beyond that target in relation to the pollution levels, and taxing them, or having an add back to their profits when calculating their tax, do you think that is a feasible way to move forward and make sure the companies focus on the sustainability aspect?
Yes, it is a good initiative. It is a good initiative. That means if you are doing a lot of pollution, tax them. So they will suffer from their economic pillar. So they will lose their profits. So therefore they will make somehow or other. Sometimes we have to, when we want to make people to feel it, you have to, that means you have to do something to hit their pocket, no? When they are losing money only, they will understand. So, but United Nations has already started the global reporting initiative system. So that means in future, like a company is coming out with your reporting, annual report, or your annual tax report, or P&L report, okay? So still we are discussing only in economic profit. But now some people are voluntarily doing what they are doing for environment profit and what they are doing for people's social profit. So in future, this global reporting initiative, under that system, it will be a must, right? So that is what called triple bottom line. So you have to report on all three lines, what you are doing. So once these things are coming to the system and implemented, the things will getting further shapen up and the things will implement.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Sidath.
Right, okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How is clean energy economically practical? If you take solar panels, for example, they are inefficient in collecting and storing energy because sometimes you have rainy days where it can't collect, and you have nighttime, and then you have hydropower, which might be difficult to collect energy during a dry season in Sri Lanka. How would that be economically practical in comparison to coal?
Yes, good question. Now, you see, solar power, normally the solar panel, at the moment, we are just, their lifetime is, we mentioned it's about 25 years. That's why the installation, we calculate for the diminishing value for 25 years. But when you compare the efficiency of solar panel at present compared with the 10 years ago, a lot of efficiency improvement has taken place. So in the world, these innovations and research are never stopped. No, scientists are doing their job, and they day by day, they are now, you can see very small solar panel is sometimes much more powerful than the previous large solar panel. So things, you keep the positive mind For the scientists will do their part. So they are coming with a lot of things, new innovations. Okay. But you have to implement, because you see how many roofs tops are wasting in Sri Lanka. How many factory rooftops are working? You see, go to the government buildings, the huge buildings, right? Not only the roof, you can think about the walls, wall panels. If it is a high-rise building you take, the entire surround wall is, you can use to generate power. So therefore, during the night, we can keep our hydropower to use during the night. The daytime, we can use the solar. Because in our countries like that, these tropical countries, we have enough sunlight. Even during the rainy days, we have a certain amount of sunlight, right? So like that, we can, it is a way of balancing, right? And with the LNG, introducing the LNG, so you can manage everything together, then we can shut down. Otherwise, even a country like UK, shutting down 7 numbers of solar power plants, coal power plants. Will they do that if they can't manage? Even you go to Europe and see how many solar parks they put up, even they don't have a sunlight like us, right? So therefore, not only the solar, wind is another thing, another area. So therefore, I think because science is always go forward, no? So nothing will happen. I think it is, in my, I am believing this can be done. Okay, are you satisfied with that, or is there any other arguments?
And the power plant you mentioned, Yugananda, wasn't a state given to the US recently?
Yes, that is the one. Actually, Yuga Danavi is running at diesel power at the moment. Okay, it's at Kelavalapitiya. It's under CEB. But this plant will be going to convert it into the LNG in future. So they are producing 350 megawatts.
So is the US providing us with finance for that?
But that plant, 40% share as the one transferred to the USA recently. Right? But still, I don't know. It is in the courts now. No? What will happen? It may be, I don't know about that deal, how they did it and what expectation they have like that. But it is a question mark. Because energy is the future. Everybody like to come into the energy business, especially US. Wherever the energy is there in the entire world, they go. That's why they went to Iraq. That's why they went to Iran, Lebanon, Libya, because of energy. Right? The world politics are sometimes you and me can't understand how those things happen. The best thing is to open your eyes and study all these things. Don't get into the sides. Don't get into the bias, don't do the party politics. Do the country politics. Think about the country, not the party. Keep your eyes open and mind open.
Do we have any other questions?
Are there any questions? Please ask anything. Anything you feel okay, you can ask. Okay, no more questions.
This is Venuvi.
Yes.
So when it comes to starting, beginning a startup or like continuing with a startup, the sustainable goals related to it might depend on the type of startup that we are doing, the type of business. But are there any basic sustainable development goals that a startup should achieve? Like the very basic and what are the goals that are easily achievable?
Yeah, right. Thank you, Vinuri, asking for that question. Now, the UN has identified 17 goals, right? But you can go through this 17 and you see, right, at the startup, at the beginning, I will achieve only 5. That is enough. So like that, you can do, easily you can do, that means gender equality you can do. You can be nice for your staff, right? You can do your salaries and everything, pay on time, and think about the people's welfare, keeping your economy going on, making a profit. You can save the food waste. You can educate your staff to save the food waste. You can educate your staff to save energy, right? Switch off the AC, switch off the lights at correct times. You can train them to save water. You started with simple 2, 3, 4, 5. Then one by one you can grow. Can you do that? You can start from home first before going to the business. Stop wasting your food from today onwards. When you go to the party, when you go to the buffet table, what you serve, eat 100%. Can't you do that? You can.
Thank you, Mr. Sidath.
Okay, right. Okay. A good question you ask. Start from some point, everybody. Okay, yes.
Excuse me, sir. So I have a question. So at the present time, there's a lot of licensing for eco licensing, and even in the fish industry, there's a lot of ethical fishing licensing. But we see like a lot of reports and even from the media that there's a lot of faking at present, and many licensing are given by money but not actually going and seeing the procedure to give the licensing.
Okay.
So these licensing companies, like how can we mitigate these falsum?
Yes, good question. So that means the people who are authorized to give the license, they are cheating. That's what you are telling me. Okay, now supposing if like this, if the SLSI, Sri Lanka Standard Institution, if they give a wrong certification for some product, so that is cheating. Okay, so that is why there is one goal, it says strengthening the licensing bodies, the legal systems, right? It is very difficult to do that. Like our countries, it is very difficult. But in European countries, they achieved that goals up to certain levels. No, those countries, it is very difficult to cheat. So that is their system. Okay, and especially their general public are more powerful than these licensing bodies. Okay, because the public opinion is more powerful. In our country, public opinion is less, nowhere. Right? So we were just experience that public opinion became powerful when the time of this 2015 election. That can you remember that our Sovita Hamduro started with a group and they were trying to come out with the public opinion. But ultimately the people, after they came to the power, what they happened? They kick off the Hamduros. So he said that again, I lost. So therefore, like this, our Asian countries, there are so many things to do. Right? But if you say we can't do it and we just keep quiet, then it will be never achieved. No? We have to start with some point and keep on going. There are so many things to do. Before 2030, we cannot achieve all these things. But out of these 17, at least if we can achieve 10, as a country, and rest go a little bit further, it's better. So that is why we want to educate everybody on this. Right? Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sir.
Do we
Anybody?
have any questions?
Anybody else?
I think that was it, Mr. Sidath.
Okay, right. Okay then. So what you want me to do now? We'll stop the session.
Yeah, and that brings us to the end of the workshop on managing sustainable businesses in the current business environment. If I remind you further about Jumpstart, the Shark Tank round of Jumpstart 2021 will be conducted on the 22nd of January. This will be a wonderful opportunity for mature stage startups to find investments for their ventures while also receiving valuable advice from the investors. Registrations for the Shark Tank round will be closed tomorrow at midnight, so do sign up. The finale of Jumpstart 2021 would happen on the 30th of January from 2 p.m. onwards at UCL premises, so do stay tuned for that. I would like to thank Mr. Sidath for joining with us today and for sharing your valuable time and knowledge. I'm sure everyone who joined today learned a lot of valuable things. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Sidath.
Okay, thank you for everybody for participating. And I hope you will start thinking today onwards and do something.
We sure will. Thank you.
That is your part. Okay. Okay then. Thank you everybody. Good night.